Okay, welcome everybody and Happy New Year. And this is welcoming you to Inspire, a women's mentoring group. And we're, all excited about 2024. And we're going to pray that it's going to be a very good year for everyone. And we do have coming up in just a couple of days. We have NAMB Focus, and Valerie's going to start off by telling us a little bit about what's going to be at NAMB Focus.
Great, thanks. Happy New Year, everybody. We are looking forward, as Linda mentioned, sorry, I'm continuing to let people in. We are looking forward to NAMB Focus in Orlando in just a couple days. Thursday, January 11th, it kicks off. And we do have a lot of really great speakers over the course of those 2 days. We have Barry Habib, we have Neil Dingra, we have Alex Machuca, we have, I'm trying to think off the top, we have Irene Duford, who is our speaker today, but 2 full days of really great speaking sessions. And then we also have our CVLS class, our Certified Veterans Lending Specialist class, on Saturday, the first offering of the year. So if you haven't registered yet and you would like to attend, we do have a discount code you can use, which is Focus 2024, all capitalized. And if you're in the area or would like to warm up in Florida, we hope to see you there.
Very good. And now we're going to have Laura. She's going to have to wish everybody a Happy New Year and say a few words.
Yes, and welcome to 2024, ladies. It is always such a joy for us to come together, spend this time, educate, learn, collaborate, and know that this is all about you. It's all about your growth. It's all about supporting you to lift to the highest level. So thank you so much for joining us and finding a little bit of time out of your very busy day.
Well, thank you, Laura. And I will say we're still waiting on Irene Duford to join us, and Valerie, if you'll just keep watching for her. And I wanted to tell you that if you've missed any of these sessions, we had some great sessions last year. And, I think you can go back to namb.org, go to our Inspire and review any of those. And it's really, probably something that you would like to do, because it's so many people that we had on. We had Raina Mortensen from Nexus last month, and she did keep the proper perspective and find your path, and that was really good. We had probably more people on that call than we've had on any of our calls so far. And then we had Chelsea Blaylock. She did key ways to stay strong. Laura had done building your brand, and that's probably a really good one for starting the new year. Valerie did assertiveness in leadership. So, we all need that. Sometimes I'm not quite as assertive as I need to be because I'm a little softy, but hey, you got to be assertive every now and then. Then we had Megan Anderson, which she did mastering your verbal communications, which really that was something that I had never even thought about. And it's, so you definitely want to go back and look at that one. Diana Barchevic with MBS Highway did It Starts With Luck, which a lot of us, that's how we got here, by just being lucky. Nora Guerra did Unleashing Your Inner Warrior. Christy Dickey did The Power of Discipline. And Kim Craig did Prospecting and How to Get Business in This Market. So really, we had so many really good ones. And I think that if you just go back and look at a few, that I think you'll really be excited that you did. And now I see Irene Duford here, and it is so good to have you, Irene.
It's great to be
and
here.
I know that you had a commitment before, and I will go ahead and introduce Irene. And she's been in the mortgage business for 26 plus years. And she's been coaching top producing loan originators in the Freedom Club and the Mortgage Marketing Animals since 2012. So you've been committed, I can see, for a very long time, because she's passionate about inspiring and encouraging others to believe in their success and map out a specific plan to achieve results. And that's what she's going to talk a little bit about today. And she is also passionate about using the right self-talk to succeed. So, Irene has been coaching for a long time, and since we're just running a few minutes, we want to hear everything she's got to say. And she does have loan team training now with 3 classes: WOW training, client conversion training, and loan assistant mortgage training boot camp. So I think, Irene, I'm going to let you take it away because you've got so much to say, and I want to learn a lot today.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Sorry, it took me a few minutes to get in, but I'm here now. So let's, today I was told, and we came up with the topic of talking about increasing your pipeline in a warm, effective way. So I have a little PowerPoint here. I thought I'd share it with you and talk about that. How much time do we have? I want to make sure that I don't go over on time. So tell me usually.
We're here till 12:30. We always manage. We respect people's time, and so we cut off at 12:30.
Okay. So
Oh, it's 1:30 your time. Sorry, that's my time. Yeah.
right. No, and I'm in Arizona, so it's 11 o'clock here.
Okay. Well,
So
wherever
I'm
you
good.
are.
Yes.
You have
All
30
right.
minutes.
Well, what I would love to do, if you guys are willing to do it, is to have this be more interactive than just me talking. And this is my first one on with the inspiration, women inspiring. So let me know how you normally do it. Is it usually just the speaker just talks, or is it interactive typically?
Yes, usually the speaker does just, present her program usually, or what she's talking about. But I
Okay.
mean, we can interact, whatever you would like.
Yeah, I would love to interact. That's what I'm used to
Okay.
doing, is interacting. I could stand up here and talk, and we could talk about it, but I'd love to get people's interaction if possible. So
Sure.
I know there's not a lot on camera, so I'm not sure if anybody would interact, but we'll see. Okay, so I didn't prepare a really long thing, but if it's interactive, people will talk and will add to it. So I am going to share my screen.
And girls, y'all can go ahead and let us see you too. It's okay.
Yes, yeah. So what I'd like to talk about today is, since we're in 2024 and the year is starting fresh, we have a lot of fresh ideas. We're motivated, right? The beginning of the year just feels like a fresh start. And so we're going to talk about increasing your pipeline in a warm, effective way with systems, tools, and strategies for warm database marketing and some other type of marketing as well. And the reason I put diamonds here is because there are diamonds in the relationships that you already have. Yes, it's great to go and build new relationships, and it's great to talk to agents, and all of that is fantastic. But today we're going to focus mostly on warm database marketing, people that you already know. 87% of happy clients would pass along your name, but only 7% of sales reps ever ask them. So think about that. 87% of happy clients, and you all have happy clients, they would pass along your name, but only 7% ever ask. So I want to ask you, those of you that are here, I'm going to take off my screen for a minute because I'd like to see you. How many of you have, and be honest here, how many of you have a hard time asking for referrals? Is there anyone that kind of is uncomfortable with that? A little bit of uncomfortableness when you ask for referrals? Anybody?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, great. Yep. Janet says, yep. And it's not always easy, right? But one thing to remember when we're asking for referrals is that, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more into the class as well, but when we're asking for referrals, we're actually helping people. And the reason we're looking at it as helping people is because when we ask for a referral, somebody gets helped by you, and you're going to deliver an amazing experience. But if they don't know you need help, if they don't know you need a referral or you're looking for a referral, they are not thinking about you because everyone's busy, right? We're all busy, all of us. Everyone is busy. They're doing their own thing. They're taking care of their family. They're taking care of their business. And I wondered if any of you have ever bought a car. Anyone ever buy a car? Is there anyone? All of us, right? We've all bought a car. And are you sitting there thinking, like Monica, are you sitting there thinking when you buy a car, God, I wonder if that car salesman, Joe, I wonder if he needs a referral today? Like 10 weeks after you bought the car, are you thinking that? No, no, you're not thinking that. Why? Not because he wasn't great, right? Maybe Joe was great, but you're busy, right? You got things going on. You're just, it's not on your radar to think that. So it's really important that the people that we know that have done business with us, that they know that we're looking for a referral. And we'll talk about how to ask them in a few minutes. But it's just that we're busy. And so if we don't let them know, they look at you and they think, wow, she's really successful. And I know we've got a couple, I guess we have one man on here, right? So Rodney, I'll mention Rodney. Rodney's really successful, or Elaine is really successful, or Kelly's really successful. This is what they're thinking. She did such a great job for me that she's so successful that she doesn't need my business. They're not sitting there wondering if you need the business or want the business. And so that's why it's important that we ask for what we're looking for. And we'll talk about how to do that. I'm going to share my screen now with you. So all we need to do is ask them. And, whether we like the idea or like the name salesperson, that's what we do. We do sell. We sell something that's really beautiful. We sell an amazing experience to get the biggest transaction of their life. We sell that. And we don't sell it in a selling kind of way. We sell it in a helping kind of way. Think about it. They get really preoccupied, like we talked about, and they forget about us. And it isn't because they forgot about you. It's because you're just not on their radar. And we're going to talk now today about some ways that you can get back on their radar. Remember, they know you, they like you, they trust you. We're talking about past clients right now. They already know you. They like how you treated them. They trust you because they gave you the biggest transaction of their life. So we can go from loan advisor to friend by how we treat them throughout the transaction and after the transaction. So I want to ask a question. How effective, and just ask yourself this question, how effective are you at communicating with your past client database? And if you guys have a better word for it, your past client, they might be past clients, but they're still clients of yours, right? So past client has a connotation that they're in the past, but they are a diamond mine for you, a gold mine. So how many of you do keep in touch with your past clients? How many do? Yeah, a little bit. Some people, great. All right. So it's really important that we keep in touch with our past clients. And, when you have a relationship with a client, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, you have a lot of things that happen during that transaction. You build that rapport with them. You build that relationship with them. Sometimes it feels kind of weird when they're not there anymore, right? Because you've dug in the weeds so much with them and you've given them so much of yourself and they've shared so much with you that it feels kind of weird when they're not there anymore every day. So there's a way to keep in touch with them so that that doesn't happen too much. And I'm going to show you what that is. Let me share back my screen again. All right. So and I want you to think about this right now. I put these numbers together because I thought, man, it's really important to look at the numbers and see what it is. If each of your past client database contacts is worth, let's say 3,000 to 6,000, depending on where you do your business, how many bips you make, that type of thing. So look at it. If you had a $300,000 loan and you made 1.5% on the loan, that's 4,500. It'll vary depending on where you are and what your bips are. But if you had 100 people in your past client database who move once every 9 years, that would be 11 people that you could do a loan for every year if you keep in touch with them. If they know you're looking for their referrals and you appreciate them and you show appreciation to them throughout the year, you would have 11 extra people per year that you could do a loan for if you had 100 people in your database and they only moved once every 9 years. Think about that. 11 times $4,500 is $49,500 per year that you could earn if you kept in touch with your past clients, and only if they move every 9 years. And people actually move more often than that. So this is a very conservative estimate of what you would earn. And for those of you that are money motivated, this is great. For those of you that are people motivated, it's great too, because it's not only are you earning money, but you're also able to help all those 11 people per year that are moving every 9 years. This is just from your past client database. These are just people who already know you. They already like you. They already trust you. All they need to do is be kept in touch with. So think about it. That same amount of $4,500, and this is, like I said, it's just an estimate. It varies among loan originators. But if you did one loan per month for every 100 people in your past client database, that would, let's say you have 500 people in your database. You would have $4,500 times 5 loans per month. That's $22,500 per month, $270,000 a year that you could earn. And you could help all of those people, 5 people a month, just because you kept in touch with them, just because you called them and you showed appreciation to them. And we're going to talk about how to do that, how to show appreciation and how to call them. And when you look at these numbers, most of the time we don't put it in numbers. We're thinking about the people and helping people, and we're busy. You're running from one thing to the other. Maybe you have a team, maybe you don't have a team, maybe you have an assistant, maybe you don't. But either way, I'm sure you're very busy in your life. But when you look at numbers like this, it really makes a difference. I'm going to go back and show you this again. Even if they only move every 9 years, that's 11 extra people a year that you could be doing loans for. And it equals out to $49,500 a year just from your client database. And if you had 500 people in your database, let's say you have 500 people, a lot of you, I'm sure, have been in the business a long time. Maybe some of you have 5,000 people. You might have 1,000 people. You might only have 10 people. But either way, if you keep in touch with your database, that will grow as time goes on. But have you ever put it into numbers like this where you actually see that if you did 4 loans a month from your past client database and you were earning this much money, it could be more or less. This is what it comes out to. When I put the numbers to that, it really made a difference when I looked at it. And that's why I'm showing it to you here today. These are just from warm referrals from your past client database. I'm going to check the chat bar and see what we got here. Okay, good. Lisa, thank you. All right. Let me get here. So when do we call them? Contact your past clients every quarter. Once a quarter, they should be hearing from you. Even if you just leave a voicemail, at least they know that you've reached out to them. If you call 2 letters of the alphabet every single week, once a week, and you use their last name as the alphabet, you'll end up going through your entire past client database in 13 weeks. You will have talked to everyone in your database. If you go by, like, this week, I'm going to call the A's and B's. Next week, I'm going to call the C's and D's. You could do it that way, and you'd get through the entire client database in 13 weeks. And you would get referrals from that, because you're not just asking them for their referrals, like if they're moving, because they may not be moving, but they know people who are. And if you get real specific when you ask them, do you know anybody, any friends, family, coworkers that are looking to buy a home or maybe refinance a home? And you're very specific about what you're asking for, people will refer you because you gave them such a great experience. And then you go through that 13 weeks and then you start all over again. You'll call your entire past client database 4 times a year if you did just 2 letters of the alphabet every week. And you just block time out and you call 2 letters of the alphabet every week. Most of them are going to be voicemail because most people don't pick up the phone, unfortunately, as often as they should. But when they do, it's a great thing because you get to reconnect with people that you really helped with the most important transaction they've ever had in their life. So how do we do it? What do we do? You can send a monthly item to mail. You can send a newsletter. A couple of the newsletter ideas is you could create one where you tell a story about a client that you helped, and you don't use their name, of course, but you tell their story. So maybe somebody else couldn't help them and you helped them, or maybe it was a veteran and they had some issues that you helped solve. Or maybe it was a single mother that you helped and you feel so good about it. And you're so grateful that you were able to help this single mother. Just different ideas of people that you've helped. Another monthly item, you could have an automatic mailer that gets sent out that you could send out, or it could be sent out for you that you pay for. There's all kinds of ideas. Does anyone have any ideas? Any ideas at all about what they would send? Does anyone send monthly items out? And if you do, maybe what do you send? Anybody?
I send this. Well, the beginning of the year, I've only been in the industry almost 2 years as a loan officer, but like 8 years altogether. But I send these little calendar things.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and then like with
Great.
a little letter, to something, Happy New Year, wishing well
awesome.
wishes.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love it. Anyone else?
Yes, I send out a newsletter, and then I have this little magazine that comes out 4 times a year, just about health, and that kind of lets them. It's not really about the mortgage business, but then it keeps me in front of them. And
That's
then I have a
great.
database, for a 30-year database, so I have been keeping
Whoa.
with those people all
Yeah,
these years.
I'll bet you have a lot. Yes.
Yes.
Anyone else have something that they send out? Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that
Irene,
you guys.
Irene,
Yes.
I wanna mention there is one thing in the chat. So someone writes, this assumes you have a past client database. What about the loan officer that has gone through their circle of influence with no success?
Oh, that's a great question. I love that. Yeah, let's answer that question. And I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Anines, I think. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but Anins. Okay, great question. So you've gone through your circle of influence. It depends on what you're saying to them. And so circle of influence, give me an idea of what the circle of influence has included, like who has been included in that circle of influence.
So family, friends, just people that I know.
Okay. People that you know, like in your community, people you go to church with, or people that you're in groups with, that type of thing.
So I think my problem, not necessarily unique, but I moved to a whole different state, relocated to a whole different state where I don't know anyone. And no friends, no family. Of course, I've, started to make new friends. And of course, they, know that I'm a loan officer and, that's what I do. And I do all the social media stuff and, kids and everything. So yeah, I'm just stuck there.
Okay. So you're in a new area. You don't have a past client database at all. You haven't closed any loans yet?
No, ma'am, because I am a new loan officer, just licensed last year, March. And
Okay.
I had a few
Great. How
to
exciting that you got into the business at this time of the year, because this is a really, it has been a challenging year, but it's also been a really good year of opportunity. So what I would do is go through, think about it. Who does your hair? And I'll go down the list. Who does do you have a hair person that cuts your hair? That's a person that knows a lot of people. So that might be one that you hadn't thought about yet. That would be one. Who, your doctors, your dentists, the people that, the hygienists, the people that you go and get services from. Maybe if you're at a restaurant and you go to the same place over and over and you see the same people, let them know what you do for a living in a really warm way. And a lot of it depends on how you ask them, right? So think about it. Laura, has that ever happened to you where you run across somebody and you know they'd be a really good fit for what you do? And
Absolutely. And I was laughing when you were saying the hairstylist, because
And the
I will
nail
tell
tech.
you, yeah, and the nail tech, because I will tell you, I've had people at the hair salon say, Laura, I have someone that needs a mortgage.
yes,
I know that you're in mortgages. So to your point, all of those type of association, it's not just even the one person that's doing your hair, but it's the person that washes your hair. It's the associates around them. It's that
yes.
conversation. So Irene, great advice. Fabulous advice.
And you listen to everything, even at the grocery store, because the person standing behind you might be talking about looking for a house or whatever, or standing in line at the ticket getting on an airplane. I got a loan from the lady that gave me the ticket on the airplane, because you just talk and you make up a conversation.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. It is fun when you go on an airplane and you're talking to people in line and you're waiting, and you can find a way to. So let's talk a little bit about how you weave into the conversation what you do for a living. The way that I do it, and I don't originate anymore. I haven't originated for a few years, but I did originate for 25 years. And the way I weave it in, or used to weave it into the conversation, is I always ask them, what do you do for a living? Like, what do you enjoy doing? And people, especially in an airplane, because a lot of times you have a perfect opportunity, and anywhere you go, you have a perfect opportunity to ask, what do you do for a living? And then when they tell you what you do, typically they ask you what you do for a living as well. So that's a good way to do that. Can you guys think of any other good ways for her?
I have a suggestion for as a niece. Get you a name badge, wear it. It has something that says mortgage on it. So they'll say, oh, if they're interested, they'll say, oh, you're in the mortgage business. And that, because people are looking at those things, and you wear it everywhere you go.
Yes.
Fronts and all.
About that, because I do have a few people that I know who are realtors, and you know how the realtors wear the little name badge or whatever, and I thought about doing that as well. Thank you.
Yes.
You need to.
I just went to my local trophy shop and they made it up for me, and I didn't want to pin my, you're bringing back memories, Linda.
Well,
I did it with a magnet because I didn't want to pin into my clothes, my nice clothes that I was wearing and stuff. And so just have a little magnet done up. And I had a couple of them. So if I lost it, or I kept one in the car in case I forgot to put it on, that type of thing. That's a great way to do it. And then talk to all the people that do services. If you know a few realtors, definitely talk to them and become friends with them, not asking them for business right away, but just becoming their friend. Just asking about them and what do they do and how did they get to be so successful, and tell them, hey, and if hopefully you are a student of success, but I love to tell people, because it's the truth, that I am a student of success. I love to learn, and I would love to hear your story and hear how you got from where you were to where you are now. And that usually works really well too. So Raquel, you have your hand up.
Yes, I experienced also moving from a place where I had a large footprint to a new location. So what I purposely do or did during that time is I went to open houses, and I just, and nobody knew that I was a mortgage lender or what have you. Even, being in the industry for over 30 years, I didn't have an immediate conversation. So I'm looking at homes and I'm asking about wherever I was, just asking about the area. But I would purposely go to open houses on the weekends or weekdays, and just have a conversation with the realtor. And I wasn't afraid to say, I'm new and what have you. And I always had in my back pocket, as far as my mind, what type of product I could probably have a conversation. That was in my early years, that I would just pick a product, and if that sounded like something that was available. I felt comfortable and confident to have a conversation.
I love that. Yeah, open houses are a great way to meet agents and get to know people and see who's out there. I'm going to look at the chat bar really quick and see. Let's see. Join local Facebook pages and local. Thank you, Jill. Jill James says, join local Facebook pages and local next door. That is really a good idea. I have a friend named Mike that moved into a new area, and he joined all of those Facebook groups, not the ones, he joined the groups of people that were looking to meet up. They were meetup groups is what he called it. And they would get together, local people would get together and meet up. And he made more friends that way and was able to get more business that way because of just joining up the meetup groups on Facebook. So that's a great idea, Jill. Thank you. Yeah, those are great.
I'd like to chime in if I
Yes.
could. This is Teresa. I didn't know how to raise my hand on here, so I'm on
No,
my
just
phone.
chime in. You don't need to raise your hand.
So I've recently joined some networking groups in my area. I've had my license since 2005, but I haven't been really active as an originator. I've been more of a processor, and so I'm trying to be more active as an originator. And I've joined some networking groups in my area, and that has been pretty, I wouldn't say real successful because I haven't gotten anything out of it yet as far as work, like no loans out of it, but I'm building relationships with people, and I know that those people are going to refer me when they have an opportunity because I've really gotten to know them. Part of the networking process is doing a one-on-one with somebody so that you can get to know them, become friends with them, and you know, hopefully get referrals for each other. And it's a win-win situation. So that's been really it's a good thing for me because it gets me out of the house, right? Gets my day going.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
Keep you out with
benefits to
people.
it. So I would highly recommend that. And
Yeah.
then
It
once you
sounds
go to
like-
one networking group, they tell you
Yeah.
about all kinds of other ones you can go to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it grows from there.
It sounds a little
Absolutely.
like BNI, Business Network Incorporated, but you know, you can join that too, Anish. One of those, look for your local BNI group because it's meeting with your sales team one day a week, every week. That would
Yeah.
really probably help you greatly because you have to know you, trust you before they use you. I'll put it that
Right.
way.
Yes.
Exactly. And we are out of time here. We do respect everyone's time. And hey, this was great. We'll have to have you back again, Irene. So that this is wonderful. We like this interaction and thank you so much. Everything's been perfect. Like I said, we'll be adding her to the website. Go to NAMB.org, go to, Inspire, and you can look at all these. And hey, would you like to come back again one day, Irene?
Absolutely, I will. Yes. Yeah,
I
I'm
love
glad
it.
that you guys interacted. Thank you for doing that. And I don't know, I was off on my time. I was thinking it was a little bit longer. So I'm grateful that you guys had me on, and I'm grateful that you guys interacted the way you did and gave each other ideas. It's awesome. We have a great group here.
And it was wonderful the way we're going to get to start 2024. Hey, I love that with these warm referrals. So thank you so much again, everyone. Be back here again next month. It's always the second Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Look forward to seeing you. And if you have any questions, you can always go to www.wmg.org, and send me an email.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Irene.
Thank you.